ran up a check, I might do it again. Enemies close, have me thinking they're friends. 10 toes down, I'll be free until the end. Crib outside the city, I don't feel safe in my hands. Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the wins. I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins. I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up, I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up, I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up, told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what, told you I'ma do me, why you hating on me, it's not adding up. Do roll like a Mack truck, country heart, I might cop a farm and go act up. Lot of scars, I was cold hearted, now I'm backed up. Keep it real, I do this once a month, I don't rap much. I just take the money and go stack up.
To Ink, Incarceration to Incorporate. Here, me and Julius Campbell and AB, we are here back, and Happy New Year to everyone. Here's my co-host, Mr. Julius Campbell. Take it away, Mr. Campbell.
What up, Savannah? Listen, we've been missing for a minute because we were making memories. And you know, those of us who have been incarcerated, we are home for Christmas and New Year's, and we were all about being intentional and making those long memories that we desire while we were locked up. But today we are back, and while we are back, we want to update you on some of the new things. Just like New Year's, we got some brand new things on the horizon. Yes. Brand new platform, and we want to bring in our boy AB, who's been off, and he's been doing some phenomenal things up in the ATL. He's going to share with us. But before we do that, Marie, what is OAA?
OAA is Offender Alumni Association, where we empower, encourage, and educate one another, because not one of us can do it alone. So me, Julius Campbell, we are here with Mr. AB. And Mr. AB, we want you to tell us all about what's been going on with you. Take it away, AB.
First of all, I appreciate y'all bringing me on to this show. This is a show that we started a few years back, and I'd like to congratulate you, Marie, and Julius for keeping the show together, keeping it going. Thank Julius Hall for his extraordinary work, putting all shows together and holding it together. I just like to just say I appreciate y'all for holding the show down. You know, Incarceration to Incorporation was something that I wanted to start when I was incarcerated. I was at the Atlanta camp, and I was thinking about ways that I'm gonna be able to, things that I was gonna be able to do when I came home from prison. So I felt like I wasn't gonna be able to start a job. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna create something. I'm gonna create a job. And a light bulb hit to me. I said, well, people come home from prison, they're not gonna be able to get a job. So my first thing was to get them resources to not just come home to get a job, but resources to help them start a business. Because I was able to be friends and acquaintances with a lot of people that's incarcerated that was business minded. So I said, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna come home and start a program and get with like-minded people that, you know, we can do this. So the thing came together. It was Incarceration to Incorporation. I met you all, and you all had done an extraordinary job of holding Incarceration to Incorporation down, and we're doing an amazing job with it. So that's something that I want to thank you all for being a part of that. So yeah, the transition I made was coming to Atlanta from NC, and that was a bold transition. I know, you know, coming from North Carolina, you know, I had 2 clothing stores up there that was doing good, that was doing great, you know. So I really wanted to make a bold decision to try it here in Atlanta. So, you know, I made that bold decision, that transition. I'm actually, December 31st became my first year. So I've been here a year now, just networking with people, you know. You know what they say, rubbing elbows with like-minded people, those who are business-minded, who are trying to do the same things that I'm doing. So that's basically what I've been doing, just networking, trying to see the who is who in Atlanta. You know, the Atlanta scene is so flooded. The market is so flooded because, you know, this is considered a Black business and entrepreneurship mecca. you know. So getting me coming from North Carolina and coming down here, you know, trying to get in where I fit in, you know. So I haven't hit the street running yet. I just been talking to people, networking with people, and you know, I'm just, you know, just thankful that, you know, the opportunity given to me to be able to make this move. So that's where I'm at with it now, just networking with people, you know.
Well, I saw AB that Rashida's husband Kirk had a pair of your jeans on before, right? He had
Now
some
he
pants on that
now he always, I always send him like t-shirts and sweatshirts and stuff like that, you know. They show interest of me putting my clothes in their store. So this is what I'm trying to do now, is build up a catalog so I can put a men's line in there. You know, they like the men's line that I got called Jean Fetish Black Rose Collection. So they like that line that Kirk always wear that shirt on the show, and whenever he's out and about, he like that shirt. So there's a female line and a male line, Jean Fetish Black Rose Collection. So at the time that they showed interest, they didn't have a men's line in Rashida the press store. So they showed interest in bringing that at the Black Rose Collection and the men's collection, and you know, so that's something that I'm looking forward to. So this is it's still in the making. I just have to put together a product line, and we're gonna go from there. So hopefully I can get something in there by the summer.
Let me ask you a question, AB. And in asking that question, I want you to talk to our audience. Remember, we definitely want to encourage men and women in the community, but especially those that are incarcerated or those who are come home, returning citizens, for that motivation piece. We were talking about how you have come out of incarceration and just you've been blowing up from, you know, your own clothing store to, you know, getting your name out there, to lawn service. Even Marie and myself, we here in Savannah, we started out with mentoring at its fullest. Actually, what we are mentors on steroids, because we have two mentoring programs. Behind me, you see verbal and visual intervention, and then we also do a character development program for mentoring kids. So we understand the challenges and the passion behind starting something new so that you can leave an impact on others. Tell us a little bit about your passion when you moved to Atlanta. Were there challenges? And as there have become challenges, how were you able to overcome them?
That's very good.
All right, let's first go back to me dealing with that 10-year bid that I had. I had to, you know, I had to get over that first. And while I was incarcerated during those 10 years, like I said earlier, just brainstorming, you know, because I know that 10 years it wasn't over for me. And, you know, I try to encourage people now that, you know, that I know that's just coming home, that it's not over. Once you're incarcerated, you know, you have a date, a release date. So you got to prepare yourself ahead of that release date. So that's what I was, you know, able to do, prepare myself. And like I said earlier, the light bulb came on to start Incarceration to Incorporation. And what Incarceration to Incorporation is helping those that are incarcerated or have been incarcerated transition back into society. So those were the things that I wanted to do to help others that are incarcerated. Because Joyce, this one of the quotes or one of the sayings that you said, I can't quote it all together, but it's something to the fact that we are not something from what we used to be, or we what was that quote that you got that you always say?
I may have started off wrong, but look at me now. I'm finishing strong. He's good and he's in relationship. He's married. He is a motivational speaker. He is an elder in the church. So he came up with the name Visual and Verbal Intervention. They had him put together. He put it together like within 30 minutes. He's and he also has the mentor piece. What's the name of it? The mentor piece when they can look you up on the computer.
TED Talk.
The TED Talk. So he's doing very well, and he's very accomplished for a person who has did 26 years in prison. Not just accomplished, he's very humble in the things that God has allowed him to have. So I think that plays a big part of it, you know.
But you heard what she said. The phrase was, I may have started out wrong,
but look at me now.
Right. Finishing strong.
Right.
And those one of the quotes that always stuck with me, and it was something else. We are not what we used to be. We're back home. You know what I'm saying? Making a name for ourselves, and just doing right with ourselves and doing right by others. So that was the thing that I wanted to do, and you know that's what I'm out here doing now. Making the transition from NC to Atlanta is very challenging. It's just like coming home from prison, basically, because you got to start over. You coming from an environment to a whole different type of environment. You know, NC where I was at, you know, it's a small town. You know, NC is not known for, you know, a lot of big time entertainment or big time, you know, entrepreneurship programs and stuff like that. So coming from NC to Atlanta, where Atlanta is basically considered an entrepreneurship mecca. You know, so that right there in itself is a challenge. So what I'm doing now is trying to network with people, just building a rapport, just, you know, having people to get to know my name and what it is that I'm out here trying to do. And with Incarceration to Incorporation, what I want to do is we're going to talk about this, Marie and George. We're going to talk about this later. What I want to bring to y'all attention about, you know, setting up a shop here in Atlanta where, you know, we can bring people there to interview them, bring, you know, special guests to interview them, you know, just something to give people a platform out on top of the platform we already have. You know, we can, you know, like far as a location. So I'm trying to now work on a location where I can, you know, set up, we can do this thing so I can come back on the show every Friday like I was doing before, and you know, pretty much take some of the burden off of you all hands, because I know y'all been doing a great job, and you know I want to bring back some more knowledge of what I've been doing and what I can bring to the show. So yeah, just I've been out here grinding, y'all. I just been out here grinding and look forward to what new stuff and ventures that we got going on with the show. So yeah.
Well, I want you definitely to tell us a little bit more, but before you get deep into our conversation, we want to go and take a brief break. So I want you to think about what we're saying. Listen, Marie Jones, AB, and Julius Campbell, Julius Hall, Ain't the Ain't. We'll be back. Stay tuned.
Need your garments cleaned with care and with a professional touch? Then bring them to One Price Cleaners in Garden City at the Old Farmers Market on Highway 80. Service you can count on.
What up, what up? Listen, we're back in the studio. Marie Jones, Julius Campbell, AB. Listen, what are we talking about? We here at Ink to Ink, we are updating you on some brand new things that we're looking forward to in this brand new year. And AB is here to share with us some of his adventures. And the reason why we are so excited is because when we created Ink to Ink, it was a platform given to returning citizens so that they can share their stories. Why? Because we believe
Stories matter.
stories matter. Your story, my story, her story. Why? Because your story can encourage someone. Someone may be thinking right now, what do I have to do? How can I get back on my feet? But when they hear how Julius or AB or Marie have taken some of the difficulties of life and now built them up to be a brand new person, that motivates people. So AB, we want you to share just a little bit about some of your Atlanta adventures, but also don't forget about your NC start out. Tell us a little bit about how you started out first in NC and then move on with the idea in Atlanta. Because Marie and I, we have been to Atlanta on a number of occasions to do some trainings. We're going to tell you about a word, Credible Messengers.
Yes.
You remember that?
Incredible Messenger.
We also have went up there. We're working with a program now called City of Refuge.
Yes.
And in City of Refuge, they have a partnership with us as it relates to mentoring. So we had an opportunity to get out as well and to sow our royal oats, if you will. But tell us a little bit about your transition.
All right, let's go back again to when I first came home from being incarcerated. I always knew coming home what I was going to do. You know, I prayed about it. You know what I'm saying? I prayed about it, asked God to give it to me. So me coming home, it was challenges because, you know, I had to start over as far as getting my credit and everything back right and all of that. So me starting clothing store is something that I always wanted to do. You know, I always been able to, you know, in the fashion and designing clothes that came on at an early age. So that was something that I already had that I wanted to do. So I did that as far as putting designs together, putting prints and stuff together. So I used my my landscaping business to fund my clothing business. So me working the landscaping business 5-7 days a week, you know, getting the money up, you know what I mean, and getting the financial stability set up for me where I can fund my clothing business. So that's pretty much what I did, you know, came home and started that, but it was a struggle. Now, when I came home, I didn't automatically get into the flow of entrepreneurship or the flow of, you know, working and all that, because still I'm coming home and I had a track record of, you know, criminal background. So no one they wouldn't give me a job. You know what I'm saying? First, you know how it is. You put your name on the application and then say that, you know, have you been incarcerated, been in jail for this, that, and that, and that, and that. And then you get the phone and you get the nose and you get the nose this. I got frustrated. You know, I was frustrated numerous of times. And I say, you know what? It's time for me to reach out to people and let incarceration to incorporation start taking flow. So that's what I did. I got into I got a job in the landscaping, and you know I was able to secure 12 contracts, and with those 12 contracts, you know, the pay on that, if anybody know about landscaping, you know, contracts, getting those contracts is difficult, but you know, people always need a grass cut, so I was able to do that, but I was doing it as in a commercial state. You know, I wasn't doing residential, I was doing commercial, as far as warehouses and stuff like that. So I was able to do that. And then that came over to me opening up one store. One store I had was a clothing store. Is, you know, it was all my clothes. You know, I never, when I always dreamed of coming to do fashion or opening up a store, I didn't want to use other people's brands. I always knew that I was going to open a store with all of my brands. So that I was able to do that. Even like when I was incarcerated, I came up with all the names. All the names that I had in my store are names that I came up with when I was incarcerated. And then a lot of other
such as OB. AB.
What are some of those names so that we can let the people know?
I have Mandatory Grind. Mandatory Grind is a name that I came up with because some it's a saying behind that mandatory grind that, I got so many names that I can't give the name, the quote behind it, but it's mandatory grind. I got Rich Adams. I got Alexander Anthony.
Mhm.
I got Cream. I got Elise Maloney. I got Gene Fetish. Then I got the Gene Fetish Black Rose collection. This names. My whole plan was to come up with 55 different brands.
Wow.
When I was in college, I came up with those 55, but in the first store that I opened up, I only had 9 brands in there. And 9 brands was able, people liked the brands, and they was coming in, and the store did good, but it was a small store. So and then the neighborhood was more of an urban store. So I wanted to expand my clothing efforts. So what I did was I found another store. I found a building downtown where it's more people. It's a variety of different cultures. So I said, and then the ambiance, the inside of this building was a nice building. So I said, you know what, this is a building that I can use for a more advanced or more elegant type of business. So I had a partner at the time, so we started a gallery. The gallery at 317 is what it basically came up to be, but it was a art and fashion together. You know what I mean? So that's what we did. We brought art and fashion together, and that became something that was different from the first store, because the first store was just a urban store with no real far as culture in it, outside of it just being a fashion or a clothing store. And then with the gallery at 317, that brought different types of people. That brought Black, white, Latinos. That brought all types of people coming in there purchasing art and purchasing the clothing. So that was something that I was able to do, and I loved doing it. And on top of that, I still had the landscaping business. So what I would do, I had an intern at one store. I had an intern working at the gallery at 317, and then I would get off my landscaping business at 4:00. I open up the first store from 4 to 7, and then I'll check in with the fashion and the art gallery. I check in. So that was one of the reasons why I was ghost from the show, because I was doing so many things with the landscaping and 2 stores. So I said I can't be on doing the show from 6 to 7. I can't do that because I'm working the store, both stores, and doing that. Coming home from the landscaping, some days I had somebody working the store, some days I didn't have nobody. So yeah, so
Right. So AB,
doing 2. I was burnt out.
So let me ask you this question, AB. So say you go on 50, you say you wanted 54 brands, right, in your store. So are you going to hire, because you're going to need that 55, excuse me. So are you going to hire, you're going to have to hire people, and then say if you blow up like the way that you really want to, you should put that in mind. How would you be able to produce the amount of clothing that needs to be produced if you was to blow up like you really want to?
What I found out is that, let's go back, because I know 55 was just, years ago I had a brand called PJ 55, which was Fat Joints 55. That's when I first started out years ago, maybe 20 years ago or more. So it was PJ 55, Fat Joints 55. 55 was 55 different brands that I wanted to do. So it just always been a goal. I know from experience, from having 2 stores, that I can't have 55 different brands in one store. I mean,
Exactly.
so, but it's just like a goal to try to accomplish that, to strive to keep going forth to do that. You know what I mean? So that's what I try to tell people, because I mentor a few of the youth that's in North Carolina now, that they either call me up, now that I'm in Atlanta, they'll call me up to ask me certain things about fashion and certain things about different prints and stuff like that, So and now that I got manufacturers in Pakistan now that I can make a phone call to and send a design, send a drawing, and they'll send me samples, or they'll make the product for me. So I'm just now in Atlanta because I know Atlanta is overpopulated with fashion designers and people that want to get into fashion and all of that. So I'm just networking with people trying to, see, because I know now that I can't, throughout my years of getting into fashion and designing and stuff, and the 2 clothing stores that I had, all of that was basically funded by myself. You know what I'm saying? So now that I'm in Atlanta, that, I can't possibly do anything by myself. So I'm in the process now trying to find investors and get with people that see the vision that I have, and pretty much we all come together and, and open up another store. I'm basically trying to get into Stonecrest Mall here in Atlanta. Just get a kiosk, start off small with a kiosk. So I've spoken to people that's in charge of the mall, and they letting me know everything that it is that I got to do as far as acquiring or getting a kiosk. So I'm just here in Atlanta. It's overpopulated. I'm just a little crumb or whatever in here in Atlanta. So I'm just trying to, Julius, I'm trying to get in somehow where I can fit in.
Yes,
I understand that. In a way, one thing I want to encourage you to do while you're in Atlanta is remember that just like you were in NC and down here in Savannah, there are a group of returning citizens, justice impacted people that I believe when you network, you reach out to those that you have a commonality with,
right,
relevant and relatable. And while you are getting support and giving support, then you're able to see that network begin to grow. So Ms. Jones and myself, we can share some of our contacts in Atlanta, but don't forget, as you are progressing to do the thing that you've been called to do, don't forget to remember your first love, and that was mentoring and also sharing with those your story of how you have succeeded and achieved at your goals. I know sometimes we can get overwhelmed, and I want to ask a personal question. You say you've been in Atlanta now for a year, right? Have you had an opportunity to run into some young people or some people of like-mindedness, or have you had a chance to mentor with others since you've been there?
I haven't done it in a mentor, like far as a business part of it, whatever, but I have, like in being in the streets or going out to certain events, I have, give some type of encouragement far as where I came from, being incarcerated, to to the accomplishments that I have when I came home. But I do want to get with people in that's into mentorship programs, because that's something that I always wanted to do myself, be involved into mentorships. So yeah, so that's something that I want to do. If it's some information, resources that you all have that I can get with some people that's here in Atlanta, I would love to, sit down, talk with them, and hopefully I can get involved with lending what I know, lending my hand, my experiences or whatever to this youth out here, because I know it's crazy out here in Atlanta. The year that I've been here, I've been noticing a lot of the movement of the youth out here, and not just the youth, just people in general that's coming home from prison, and that's, and some that's on their way to prison. I spoke to a lot of them that's on their way to prison, but it's only for a short time. They're only going to be in there for a few months, and then they got to come back out. And it's like, are you going to do the same thing, or are you going to sit down, or you going to learn another trade, or you going to get involved into certain things that can better your life, going into the future. So yeah, so that's something that I want to do. And again, if you all, Joyce, you and Marie, you have any contact with anybody that's here in Atlanta, I would love to sit down or have a conversation with them where I can, they can bring me in, and I can pretty much give them a helping hand, or they can lead me to certain situations where I can help people. So
one of the beautiful things that Marie can share. One of the beautiful things is OAA, which stands for
Offenders Alumni Association is in Atlanta. So it'd be really good if you can reach out to somebody. We can get someone in Atlanta to reach out to you, AB, and then you can go forward from there, because Tyro is also in Atlanta too, right, Miko? So it'd be so good if you could do that, to collab with them. And because I know that you're very busy, and I know, is that one of your clothing lines that you have on right now, AB? The t-shirt and the hat?
Oh, yeah, I don't wear nothing but my brands. I don't wear nobody else's clothes, Marie.
Well, see, that's
I don't. Yeah,
this
right here is the Alexander Anthony. I know it's probably in reverse. It's probably in reverse, but Alexander Anthony is my first and middle name.
Okay, and that's really good for you. So that's very creative. You can take and make different things. I like the hoodies that you have. I love those. I think you do an awesome job, and to do it with your own hands, that's very, very good. You should have had some of your pieces, AB, that you can show the people on live while you right now on live. Show them some of your different pieces that you have. He's very good. And AB, maybe you can give them your Facebook name, or give them your website name that you have, so they can go and look, and maybe they want to purchase, some of the pieces of your products. You do very well. So we can put you in contact with OAA Atlanta and with Tyro.
As a matter of fact, what we want to do, because we're getting ready to take a quick break, but when we come back, we are going to give you an opportunity to be a blessing to some of the young men and women that we mentor here under the auspices of Incarceration to Incorporation. So just hold on. We'll be right back to share another break. Be still. We're coming back. What up, Savannah? Listen, this is Ink to Ink, Incarceration to Incorporation. You're here with my sister, Marie Jones, here, myself, OAA Savannah, and AB. And what are we talking about? We are just giving you a rundown of some of the amazing things that we have been doing and that we are going to do right here in this brand new year of 2025. AB, before I turn it over to Ms. Jones, because she wants to share with Savannah what we are doing right now and how they can be a part of what we're doing. But AB, as she shares, listen to the context and the connection of young people that we have had an opportunity to impact. And if possible, we might be able to use them, and I use that word use in a small manner. We might be able to use them to put on some of your gear, and they could be a billboard for you, an advertisement, if you will. But go ahead, take it away. What we got going on in 25?
What we have going on, we have verbal and visual going on, and what we need are mentors. We need men and women that can come out, and not just for a short period of time. We need somebody that's going to continue to be a mentor for our youth. You can't come into their lives and then try to be a positive standpoint and then lead them. You just cannot do that. So if you want to reach out to Julius Campbell, his number is 912-484-2145. He is the director of OAA Savannah, Offender Alumni Association. Now call him in between. His business hours is from 9 to 5, nothing over 5 o'clock. Okay. And I'm telling you, we just want people to positive men and women to come in and be a part of OAA Offenders Alumni, visual and verbal and visual for our young people. Okay. Thank you.
AB, tell us as we get ready to turn this corner and come to an end, can you encourage those that are listening, whether it's our community, whether it's our returning citizens, or as we say, the 3 R's, returning citizens, relatives of returning citizens, and then those who are helping to be a resource for returning citizens. Give us a word of encouragement as we turn this corner and get ready to conclude.
I want everybody to keep in mind that when you're incarcerated, it's not over. When you come home, you have a story to tell, you got a testimony. And there's going to be challenges, but you got to use what you want in here. You got to use your God gift, just period. You just gotta be willing to go out here and get what's yours. And that's what I try to encourage people to do, Joyce, is I try to get people, encourage them to go and get what's yours because God already gave it to you. It's not over. Being incarcerated is not something that you should be ashamed of, because a lot of great people have been incarcerated, and a lot of people came home from being incarcerated and they did amazing things. So that's what I want people to think about, is that even though you were incarcerated, your life don't stop there. Your life begins, Your life begins over. Your life start again. You have a second chance. You have another chance to go out here and do something that's great. You got a second chance or another chance to go out here and do something amazing. You are already amazing, so show the world that you are amazing and you can do amazing things. You might have a track record, you might have a criminal background, but that don't mean nothing to who you are as a person. You made a mistake, but your mistakes don't go with you forever. You have a story to tell, so I always tell people, you got a story to tell, so tell it. Joyce, tell it. Joyce, give your testimony. Marie, give your testimony. Other people that's out here in this world going through the same things that we went through, they're going through the same things that other people are going through, but who's going to tell their story? And who's going to tell your story better than you?
Yeah, now that's what's up. Listen, man, AB, we look forward to having you back on the block with us.
Yes.
And definitely appreciate this opportunity to update our listeners. And Marie, always love sitting next to you as we talk about what we talk about, and that is success. We are successful, and success is in many different rights. Successful in occupation, successful in career or relationship, successful in education. We are successful, and so are you. And as we always love to say, as we conclude, we may have started this thing out wrong,
but look at us now. We're finishing strong.
You too can finish strong.
And let me say something.
Good
Hold
night.
on. Let me say something right quick before we go, Joyce.
All right.
I just want to give out my website to my clothing company. It's called The Gallery NC Clothing.com. It's the Gallery NC Clothing. No, I'm sorry. It's the Gallery NC Clothing.art.
Okay.
I forgot it's not clothing, it's art. .art. The Gallery NC Clothing.art. They can get on the website and look at that, and then we can go from there. I appreciate y'all,
well, you
man.
will be back. You will be back, bro, and you'll be able to explain to them more and more who you are and what you do.
That's right.
All right. Listen, see you next week. Good night.
Good night. Talk to you later, AB.
All right. Y'all have a
like that.